up, guys? This is B More here with Treasure Finance Group. I'm here with another video for you guys today. We've got another Treasureverse project called Smithy DAO. It's a really interesting project. I wrote a thread about it on Twitter about a week or so ago, and I figured I'd just make a video also. So let's just start off with some cool little music. It kind of gives me some like old school RuneScape vibes or some like Renaissance festival vibes. I like it a lot. So let's just get right into the project. So Smithy DAO is basically trying to be like a Lego built on top of Treasure's whole ecosystem, which I think is really interesting. I've seen a few other projects like start to get into this concept. Small Potions is another one. I really like them as well. So they basically, Smithy DAO, Small Potions, they want to be, you know, they want to utilize their NFTs as sort of like a tool in the overall ecosystem. So they kind of, building off that decentralized Nintendo narrative, they want to be sort of like complementary characters, I guess, if you would. Tools, sort of like how you'll see, Bowser or Yoshi or, Princess Peach in other games outside of their own, main game. So I think that's pretty cool. So Smithy DAO, they're gonna have an upcoming collection, which I assume is one of many. In the first collection, Small Weapons. So it's their Genesis Mint. It's pretty cool. I think they actually started off with just being small weapons, and I think that once they kind of like dug in a little bit, they realized that they can create a whole ecosystem of their own, like weapons or armor or tools. I don't know exactly like what they're going to get into later on, but it's pretty cool. Like why pigeonhole yourself just to one thing when you can sort of be much more, be more all-encompassing. So that's pretty cool. Let's get on to the core utility. The core utility of the collection released by the Smithy DAO project is the treasure adventures to craft gears. Exactly. By using materials received as a reward for their accomplishments and for clearing crusades. So yeah, I think that's really cool. So it's sort of their own standalone play to earn game that sort of like develops these weapons. You'll go through these quests. You'll earn materials. And then you'll be able to like craft them eventually. Once you built up enough materials, or maybe it's like once you reach a certain level of crafting or weaponsmithing, whatever they end up calling it, you'll end up creating some really cool weapons. So they say, how will we be different? Small Weapons focuses on having a craftable weapon system that transcend particular metaverses. Transcend particular metaverses is their own universe, like transcend that into, maybe legions. Maybe you need to equip, one of their weapons to, go on a quest in Bridge World, or in Life NFT, you need a certain, armor piece to enter a world raid. Who knows? Possibilities are endless, and that's what I think is really cool about this. They say, just like how Excalibur, Masamune, however you pronounce the other one, Mjolnir, transcend the boundaries of particular stories and appear in many movies, stories, games. So, everyone's heard of Excalibur. It's been in tons of different, stories, movies, cartoons, whatever. Maybe they have like a legendary weapon that's sort of like becomes infamous throughout the Treasureverse. If you have one of those weapons, that's like a big deal. Maybe like in World of Warcraft, they have those like legendary weapons that dropped only in certain, end tier raids, or in RuneScape, you have party hats, or just something that like really is like infamous within the game. I think that's super cool. And then they go on to say, we are the crafting layer of the treasure ecosystem, which I think is like it's a bold statement, because the treasure ecosystem is so new. So, and I don't want them to like close off other opportunities. Like crafting is kind of like a broad statement, but we'll see how they journey on and see like what they really come up with. So yeah, let's continue on. Small weapons, the first collection alongside raw materials off-chain to be released in how to obtain a small weapon. So you'll have to mint the small weapon. You'll have to mint their wooden weapon during the Genesis mint. And then I think that's how you start questing. And then you can start like really getting into, upgrading your weapons. All right, let's get into game elements. So the Smithy token is pretty interesting, actually. It's an in-game off-chain token, so you can't buy it with anything. You have to earn it in-game. You earn it from questing, and it'll be used as a fee for participating in quests and forging new weapons. But then you can sell it for magic. And I'm super interested to hear more about how this exactly will work. I asked some questions in the Discord, and the mods, they got back to me pretty quickly. And they said they have a plan, and they said they're working with the treasure team to like kind of figure out how that works exactly. Because, when you have like a one-sided market like that, it's tough to, determine, the exchange rate. And I guess that kind of comes down to admissions. Like, how do you know how much magic is like one Smithy token worth? And if they have a flat rate, and then is there going to be people that are sort of like gold farming, or they find like the right, combination or the right method to like really start milking these tokens, or maybe they can't. I know there's like tons of different possibilities that I'm super interested in seeing how like all this plays out. They have Magic Shop. They'll be able to exchange their Smithy tokens for actual magic. Okay. Hall of Fame. That's where, you'll be rewarded with in-game, I guess, Smithy tokens. Genesis Mint, Genesis Crusade is like the first set of quests, using your wooden weapon. Cool. In-game forge, where players will be able to eventually craft new upgraded weapons. The Lost Smith. Okay, cool. And this is some of like the lore, which is super fun. I think that's cool about this project also. In any project that like is like this, or small potions, I think it's super important to have like a really like detailed backstory about these things, because I think that can be used by other projects as well, that they want to integrate small weapons or small potions. Like having a backstory, having lore behind it, will help other projects build that around, or build that into their lore, or whatever scenario. If they have a quest that like you'll need a certain small weapon or small potion, they can sort of mold that quest around the backstory of the lore. So I love these like building block like projects, because there's just so many possibilities, and it's just up to the builder really. Nothing's like set in stone, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's awesome. That's what I'm excited about. So the Genesis mint of like the wooden weapons will be total supply of 12,300, and they're divided into these different kinds of weapons. Like a staffs are the rarest. Rarity is based solely on the total number of each wooden asset. Is it a free mint? They are also doing something really interesting with their mint. The first 6,150 will be free. Well, I guess 1,000 of those mints are saved for the treasury and the treasure team. So maybe it's 5,150 is how many is whitelisted. And then after that, you'll be able to buy, there'll be, a price in Magic, which is cool. I love seeing new mints priced in Magic and not ETH. Hopefully that'll be kind of the standard. So 70% of the Magic raised will be used as emissions. That's awesome. And, I went over exactly, the pros and cons of using Magic as emissions in my last video. So if you want to check that out, you can. Maybe I'll just give you a brief overview. I just, a lot of teams or play to earn games that have their own hyperinflationary token. It usually ends up, seeing high demand, high price, and then once demand kind of tapers off, the game loses a little bit of hype, that price just tanks. So using an already established coin like Magic is super beneficial. The price of Magic isn't going to lie on how well Smithy DAO does or how many people Smithy DAO brings in. It's the value of the overall ecosystem, which in my opinion is, doing pretty well. And we'll see, more growth in it. So then 30% will be sent to the treasury for future roadmap, help fund the team, continue development. As far as I know, I haven't seen Smithy DAO raising any money. They haven't seen a founder's token or any of that. Maybe they got, VC money or something, or don't take my word on that. I don't think they have, but who knows? I got to do a little bit more research on that. So then the mint price is, it goes up. Initially it's 15, 20, 25, 50, 30, 35, 40, and 100 eventually. So if you can get in early, it's not too bad of a price. 100 Magic, it's $400. It's a bit pricey, but it's only the last 150, and even then, $400. That's usually a typical Ethereum NFT mint, and this isn't going to the team. This is going mostly. Well, some of it is going to the team, but most of it's, as you can see here, 125,000 is going towards emissions. So that'll be going back to the players. So that's really cool. The whole thing, monthly Magic jackpot. So it'll reward people for being active and being skilled, and that'll also come from the Magic emissions that they pulled together. So yeah, overall it's a pretty cool idea. I'm super excited for it. And I also wanted to show you guys some examples of the art. Here we have Ice Light. That looks super cool. I love it. It's got its own sort of like treasure-inspired border and name. And then Sun Soul. That's pretty cool too. I wonder if these are like sort of the like rare weapons, or like weapons that you have to like really have high levels in like rare materials to like build. A Rosator, that's pretty cool too. Viper Song, Electrica, Shadowfex. That reminds me of Shadowfang from World of Warcraft. I don't know if anybody is familiar with that. It was a dagger, I believe, that dropped from Shadowfang Keep, and it was like a prized twink item. It was like the best in slot for rogues, I believe, and maybe even warriors. I can't remember, but it was level 19 twinks with a Shadowfang. If you had that, you were just like a badass. And that was like going for like an insane amount on on the auction house. I think it was like 1,000 gold back in the day. I can't remember exactly, but like that was a lot back then. And I loved that aspect about World of Warcraft, that they had that. They had, there are other weapons that were less rare than Shadowfang that like worked pretty well, but like the drop rate on Shadowfang was like so low that if you saw someone in like a battleground with it, you're just like, whoa, like this guy's like, this guy, it was like such a flex. You're like, this guy's got money, or this guy like grinded super hard to get it. So yeah, I love that aspect, those aspects of games. In RuneScape, like everyone, like people with a party hat back in the day, or like a Santa hat, like that was sick. So yeah, I mean, I hope that like, those aspects can be sort of like picked up in some of these games, with some of these NFTs. So yeah, let's continue on. Multi-tech. Oh, that's kind of cool. It looks like a Swiss Army knife, I guess. It's pretty cool. All right, guys. Cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Maybe I'll play some music one more time. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Try and subscribe and like the video, and we'll be hopefully coming out with more videos quite frequently. I like doing these. I hope you guys like watching them. If you guys have suggestions, hit me up on Twitter, Be More Blockchain, or join my Discord. The link will probably be in the description. And yeah, my DMs are always open. I'm always open to chat about things if you guys want to. Discord will probably have some more whitelist giveaways as long as we can secure some. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.